Hi, we're taking a look at continuing note set 3 on rational exponents. So Thursday during class, you took a moment and you did this top part. And hopefully what you walked away with is the discovery of what a rational exponent actually is. So if you didn't, you need to go back and watch your teacher's video from yesterday so you can take a look at what you noticed here. So what you should have noticed is that rational exponents are actually radicals. They're actually radicals. And so if you see, for example, x to the 2/3, the denominator of your fraction tells you your index. So this is a cubed root. And then your numerator is an exponent. And so I actually want to show you that we could write this as the cubed root of x squared, or we could write it as the cubed root of x and then quantity squared. Either way is acceptable. So we're going to jump straight into these notes. We'll skip around a little bit. I'm going to let you answer some questions a little bit as well. So this first part says rewrite as a radical. So 16 to the 1/2. Again, the denominator tells us the index, and so that's actually square root, and then we just have the square root of 16. And the square root of 16 there is 4. Okay? So I'm going to let you try these next two in this Ed puzzle and answer those next two. Make sure you are copying this down on your paper as you go. Let's pick up here with 343 to the 1/3. So as I look at 343 to the 1/3, what does this really mean for us? It's meaning the cubed root of 343. And that is a perfect cube. That's one you should know. And so the value of that is 7. And actually, eventually, our goal is that you don't have to rewrite this. Our goal is that eventually you realize, hey, this is a cubed root of 343, and you know it is 7. Okay, so once again, I want you to answer these next two problems. So that brings us down to 27 to the 2/3. So as I look at this problem, 27 should stand out to you. 27, you should know, is a perfect cube. So I want to mention there are two ways that we can actually write this. We can say the cubed root of 27 squared, or we can say the cubed root of 27 and then quantity squared. Either way is acceptable. Now, which one's going to be most beneficial to us? Well, this second one is actually most beneficial because you know the cubed root of 27, that's 3. And then 3 squared is 9. That's the value of this as well. I mean, this is equivalent to 9. It's just much easier to simplify by writing this the second way. So in saying that, let's look at this next example. So this next example, I've got a square root and I'm cubing. So which one would we want to do first here? Well, the square root of 64 is what we know. So let's approach this problem as taking the square root of 64 and then cubing it. So the square root of 64 is 8. And then we do have 8 cubed. And you should know 8 cubed, that's one of your perfect squares, or excuse me, perfect cubes that you should know, and actually you've already used it on this page, 512. Okay, that brings us to this next problem. So let's try the 4th root of 16, and then let's cube it. The 4th root of 16 is actually 2, so we're left with 2 cubed, which is 8. All right, let's turn the page. So I'm actually going to skip around a little bit. I'm not going to do this top part. I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to show you some of these. There are multiple ways to work these problems. So let's take a look at number 1. So one of the things that we could do in number 1 is we could change this and say square root of 6 times square root of 6. We could change them to radicals. And so the square root of 6 times the square root of 6 is the same as the square root of 36, and you should know that answer is 6. Let me show you another way. If you remember rules of exponents, you have like bases here. And when you're multiplying like bases, you can actually add your exponents. So you could write this as 6 raised to the 1/2 plus 1/2, which is 6 to the first. And of course, 6 to the first is 6. Okay, I'm going to leave this Ed puzzle question for you here, number 2. So let's go to problem 3. Again, multiple ways you can work problem 3. I could take these and write it as the cubed root of 5 times the cubed root of 25. And yes, I can multiply these together. It would be the cubed root of 125, which we know as 5. Another strategy, though, tell me what you know about 25. Well, that's 5 squared. And then when I have a power raised to a power, I can multiply them. So I could actually write 5 squared to the 1/3 as 5 to the 2/3. So now notice I'm multiplying like bases. And when you're multiplying like bases, you can add your exponents. So I would take 5 and then raise it to the 1/3 plus 2/3. Well, 1/3 plus 2/3 is 1. So therefore, I just have 5 to the first, which is 5. Okay, let's go to number 4. So as I look at number 4, I'm going to look at this and say, okay, what do I want to do first? Do I want to take 4 and do I want to raise it to the 5th? Or do I want to take the square root of 4 first? And I'm hoping that you say you want to take the square root of 4 first. Because the square root of 4 is 2. And you're left with 2 to the 5th. And 2 to the 5th is 32. I'm going to let you do number 5 in your Ed puzzle. All right, let's go to number 6. So as I look at number 6, first off, what is being raised to the 3/5? There's a big difference in what I have written here and what you have written here. On your paper, you are not taking the negative to the 3/5. It's really saying take 32 to the 3/5, and it's really saying take the opposite of that. That's what's on your paper. So make sure you notice that. All right, do anybody know what 32 cubed is off the top of your head? Well, I don't either. So instead, let's take the 5th root of 32, and then we'll cube it, and don't forget to bring along that negative out front. So what would you have, and what would you multiply by itself 5 times to give you 32? Well, that's 2. So you're left with the opposite of 2 cubed, which is going to be negative 8. All right, number 7. So number 7, first off, let's deal with the square root of 25, and then we'll raise it to the negative 3 in just a moment. So the square root of 25 is 5. Now, do you guys remember what a negative exponent does? A negative exponent takes the reciprocal. So that's going to send 5 cubed to the denominator. So we end up with 1 over 125.